It's mail time. All right. It's Joe R Vintage Pokemon, and we've got some mail time action for you. We've got our PSA submission back from Trading Card World. We decided to use them this time as our third-party grading service. Oof. There we go. We got one, and we got, oh, this is a heavy one, and 2 boxes cards. So we're gonna start. This is a heavy one. This is a light one. I'm gonna start with the light one over here. So we're gonna oopity dope that first, just like that. Let's see. Okay, that one's open. We'll get this one open too. And so we sent 25 cards off to Trading Card World, and they charged us $16.50 per card, which was a really good going rate for the time. And this came back relatively quick. I think we sent them out in February, and here we are in May, and they're back. So real stoked to see what we have on the inside. I'm going to put the big box off to the side like this, and I'm going to pull out our stack here of cards. Well packaged, plenty of good bubble wrap. There we go. We got our PSA box just like that. Wrapping. Here we go. Got a cards. Okay, can't see what that is. Good. Get rid of that. Off to the side. We got this over here. Oof, we went with a sideways stack this time. These are looking crisp. So we're going to pull all of these out. Come on, jiggle for me. There we go. Oh man, I love how those slide on out. There you go. Off to the side like that. It's 25 cards. I'm expecting some pretty solid grades. You know, we sent these off, and last time I did a PSA submission, I was very happy with the results, very happy, but I think some of them were graded a little harshly. So I'm curious to see how they come back this time around. Ooh, a little bit of Japanese. There. Always a fun time. No idea what to expect, though. No idea. So we got a solid stack here, 25 cards, and we're going to see what we can come back with. I'm going to move this on up. There we go. We're ready. Front and forward. Here we go. First one up, we have ourselves POLITOED Mint 9. Very nice. Look at that swirl up there. Excellent grade. Nice start off. And it is unlimited, but in a 9 grade, that is solid right there. Solid. Beautiful card all around. POLITOED, nice 3-stage starter. A classic card from Neo Discovery. So it's a beautiful card to start out with. Next up, we have the HOUNDOOM Holo from Neo Discovery. Beautiful card. The Neo series was the first ones to introduce Dark-type Pokemon, so Neo Discovery. We have Neo Genesis, Neo Revelations, Neo Discovery, and Neo Destiny. And Neo Discovery right here is the HOUNDOOM Holo. A beautiful card. Really. I think a lot of people like the Neo Revelations HOUNDOOM more. I mean, I do as well. But this is still an awesome holographic card to pull in the Near Mint 8. And so a lot of these cards, we got 23 more to go. They're all going to be fire like this, I think. So looking forward to seeing what these grade. Next up, oh, we get the 8. But that's a first edition Metal Energy card. Nice, beautiful swirl there. Tough card to grade. Really easy to have factory lines on this thing or scratches on this thing. Just so much holo pattern. But look at that pop on this thing. I mean, that is gorgeous right there. If you're digging these vintage holographic cards, make sure you like and subscribe because we do PSA returns, PSA submissions, BGS submissions. We've even done CGC, vintage holos, first edition, Wizards of the Coast, base set, all that good stuff you can find on this channel right here. So make sure you like and subscribe if you want to see more of us just kind of going hardcore with the nostalgia here with some of these cards. So we have a first edition Metal Energy from Neo Genesis there. Next up, Pichu, first edition. We get the Near Mint 8 on this. That is a gorgeous card. First edition holographic Pichu. Awesome sauce. Really. Man, Look at that, where that cert is now. I've been submitting cards ever since the 2XX certs. So, I mean, I've been submitting for a decent amount of years now. And now we're up to 7. It's kind of crazy. But that's a beautiful card. And I think, yeah, look at that. You can see that on camera. Super clean as day. Look at that line just going straight across. And you know that's a factory line just because how clean it is. I mean, it's cutting totally horizontally across the card. But that is the only problem with it. I mean, look how sharp some of these corners are. I mean, that's a beautiful card. If it weren't for that line, this would be a minimum 9 all day long. It's a little bit off center left to right, but I mean, still, look at that pop on that thing. That's gorgeous looking. We're going to stick you right there. Okay. Looking for a nice big hit. We got Gengar. Sabrina's Gengar, near mint 8 right there for us. Look at that. Very nice card right there for us. So the Gengar, non-holo. And even though, don't be surprised, this is a non-holo, it's unlimited, but it's still worth a decent amount because it's Gengar. The artwork is super popular. It's just a really cool and nostalgic card, especially it's Sabrina. And again, everybody loves Gengar. Gengar always is a highly sought after card. I'm going to put him off to the side for now. So far, so good. We got some good hits. Nothing below an 8, which is what we want. And we have a 7 on the Sabrina's ALAKAZAM. I spoke too soon, I guess. We get a 7 on Sabrina's ALAKAZAM. And I couldn't tell you why this got a 7. Yeah, it looks really clean. Maybe those are some factory lines in there. I want to say the centering is pretty darn good on it. Let's see on the back. Yeah, that's looks really clean to the naked eye. So I couldn't tell you why this graded a 7. It looks like it should be at least an 8, unless there is a hidden indent somewhere on here. It's always a possibility, so I'm going to take a closer look at this later. It's kind of a shame when you expect a higher grade and it comes back a 7 like that, but I mean, it is super, super clean. And if it does have an indent somewhere on there, that is why it got the 7 grade. Basically, if it's super clean, but it's got that little indent or bow somewhere on there, that's really hard to notice, but they catch it, that's going to get you the 7 right there. So if there is an indent on there, then that's a good grade for that card. We'll see. Next up, NIDOKING, near mint 8 on the NIDOKING first edition that we're talking about here for Gym Challenge Holos. Looking on the back side, again, super clean card. Not sure what's wrong with it, per se. I don't know why it would get, I mean, it's a little bit, we say it's a little bit of scratching there on the card. Look at that centering. I mean, it's really clean on the centering. So when you look at the back side, there are lots of PSA cards with more apparent damage than what we've got here. So, I mean, this is kind of rough at the moment, getting graded an 8 on that one. Next up, we get the 8 on the GIOVANNI'S MACHAMP. Man, we're getting all kinds of 8s on these Gym Challenge cards so far. So, I mean, that's just a smudge on top of the PSA case. Man, I don't know what the dealio is here. We're getting a little bit of scratching on the surface. They're really hitting that surface hard because look at this backside. There's a white mark right there in the top right corner. A little one there as well. That's a really clean card, though. We got some solid cards here pulling in the 8s. And so you see more and more people lately, they're grading with CGC because CGC is a little bit more lax. PSA, it seems, in my opinion, has been very hard on the surface grades. Very, very hard. And so a lot of people have been going with CGC, and I've noticed myself as well. The few times I've graded with CGC, I was actually surprised how lenient they were with the surface grades. So let's go near mint 8. So these are just hitting 8s all around. It just seems like somebody is looking at these and they're just hitting it for, I guess, the surface, because it's the only thing that could really be a problem. Near mint 8 for MISTY'S Tentacruel. Yeah, you can see the backside looks really clean. So, I mean, hopefully these can improve for us a little bit. I was kind of expecting more 9s at this point, but you never know. We pull an 8 with the Lieutenant Surge's Magneton. Oh, geez, getting killed here. Got another 8. First edition, too. I mean, all these first edition cards coming back as 8s currently. So that's another one we're going to put off to the side. Next up, ELECTABUZZ 7. The Lieutenant Surge's ELECTABUZZ. I mean, this could be literally... Here's the thing, is that you might say, oh, well, Joe, maybe you're just not grading these hard enough. You know, these are coming back 7 and 8s. You know, a lot of these cards, I've submitted copies of these cards. They all came from really the same purchase, same buyer, and I've had cards from the same exact lot come back earlier, like we're talking 2-3 years ago, come back 9s, 9s and a couple 10s even. So that's why I'm a little bit surprised at the change in the grading, and I know that it's just possibly one guy. Sometimes it could be just somebody that you get on that day, because you know there's only 2 people at most looking at these cards and providing the grade that you get. But I mean, look at how clean these are. You're telling me that it's all in the surface, and I don't see. I mean, I'm one to look at the surface. These are super clean cards, so I'm a little disappointed with how these are coming out so far. I mean, I'm hoping that we get a couple good hits. 9. All right, there we go. We get the ERIKA'S Vileplume coming in at a PSA 9. And if you asked me what the difference was between this and a couple of the other ones, I'd have a hard time telling you, because these look all relatively clean. I mean, compared to this, the difference is pretty minuscule. So that's the thing that's really shocking, is that this gets the 9, this gets the 7. I mean, at the very least, this should be an 8, I would think. I mean, I prefer an 8 over an 8.5, but I mean, still. There we go. So we got one in there. We're gonna put him over there for the 9. Next up, we get an 8 on ERIKA'S CLEFABLE. So Erika did us well on another and did us dirty on this one. We get the 8, and I bought this one raw. This was a separate purchase for me. And it was a very clean card. You know, again, corners sharp, edges sharp. You know, centering pretty darn good. You know, it's not the worst centering in the world, not the most amazing, but again, it's just all about that surface, I think. Just a little bit here and there with the surface, and it's hard to see on camera, so we'll take a closer look off camera. Nice swirl there, though. Look at that swirl there in the corner, off to the right-hand side of CLEFABLE. Next up. Oh, we get the 9. The 9 on Brock's RHYDON. Beautiful colors on this thing, too. Look at that blue and that green. And this is something that I bought completely separately. I got this off of TYRANITAR years ago. Just kind of had it sitting off the side of the binder. And I remember I first picked up a copy of this card in Japanese back when I was little, and I always loved the art on it. I just thought it was the coolest thing. I mean, RHYDON is such an awesome Pokemon card. So really cool to have him, and beautiful swirl there in the corner. Nice first edition Brock's RHYDON. That's killer. And that's definitely the card of the day so far. So we're going to take him, put him up over there for us. So you chill out there for me, RHYDON. All right, let's see what else we got here. So we got quite a few still. We get the 8s on the Dark Hypno. Dark Hypno. And this one, I will say, I looked at it. It had a decent amount of scratches and such on it. So this one I did expect to get an 8 on. I mean, there are a few of these. They could be 9s easily enough. And this one, definitely an expected grade of 8, near mint 8. So we'll put that off to the side. Next up, we have a 9 on this non-holographic Dark Charizard. That's pretty cool. I wasn't sure if this was going to pull a 9 or not, so that's neat. And it's first edition non-holo, but that's okay because, hey, Dark Charizard, that slaps fire, right? So awesome pull there for us. We're going to stick him up over here in the background because that is a cool card to have added to the old collection. Next up, we have another Charizard, first edition, this one coming in at an 8 grade. So we had one comes in at a 9, this one comes in at an 8, and that's okay with me. Put that off to the side. It's a great card to have in a decent grade. Next up, we have the Dark Machamp Holo, and it pulls the Near Mint 8. And again, just a little something with the scratching, I guess. You know, hard to say. Hard to say. You know, who's to say what level of scratching really dings you down? I mean, is it just a little bit, a tiny bit, a decent amount? You know, you see something like with the Pichu over here, and you go, okay, that's going to be an 8. And you look at this, no clear indication of scratching. And you say to yourself, okay, well, I mean, how much is too much, I guess? Yeah, there's a little bit right there. Is that it? Tough to tell, okay? But, you know, I get it. A little bit of scratching will do you dirty like that. Next up, ARBOK comes in at Near Mint 8. The Dark ARBOK, first edition again. Beautiful holographic card. We actually pulled the 9 last time, so I'm okay with this coming back as an 8. Always want more, though. Always want more. Man, it's a stack of 8s right there for us. Next up, we have an 8 for the Dark ALAKAZAM Holo. So looking at that, Dark ALAKAZAM, beautiful card. Put it off to the side, just like that. Next up, we have SNORLAX getting the Near Mint 7. Oh, man. You know, I thought this would do a little bit better. Only a Near Mint 7 on the SNORLAX, unfortunately. The Jungle No Symbol error card, too. There's no symbol there, just like you'd have for base set. It's missing like that flower symbol that you normally would have on the Jungle cards. Awesome card to have. Probably one of the more valuable of the Jungle No Symbol cards. One of the more valuable Jungle cards in general. Holographic SNORLAX. So really cool. But we're not done yet. We have a short stack here. Hopefully we can pull something great out of it. Keeping my fingers crossed. Next up, we got a Japanese card. Japanese does pretty good sometimes. Let's see what we got. We have the MOLTRES coming in with a 9. That is from the red-green gift set. So that's a beautiful card. And I think it's got a swirl somewhere. Ooh, we got a foot swirl right there in that corner. So that's really cool. The red-green gift set, MOLTRES. Always an easier time, it seems, grading the Japanese cards. And this card's pretty darn valuable in a high grade. So that's pretty cool to have. So we've got the MOLTRES card right there. As a matter of fact, let's actually put him right there front and center. Nice holographic card for us. All right, next up we have the Ancient Mew, and pulls an 8. And, you know, that's pretty typical for a card like this because, I mean, look at how much holo pattern you've got. Tough card to grade. Hard card to pre-grade. Because like a lot of these cards here, you know, any little amount of surface scratching, there's holo foil everywhere. So, I mean, it's way easier to have this card grade poorly for you. But, I mean, beautiful card. Still got the 8 grade. That's pretty solid for us, right? So we're going to put that there. 3 cards left. They look like they're all English. Next up, we get the AMPHAROS, first edition, and it grades the Near Mint 8 for us. All right, so nice addition there for the AMPHAROS. Okay, really cool. Cool card. First edition AMPHAROS. Next up, we have the TYRANITAR coming in at an 8 from the Neo Discovery set. That's a cool card, too. And, you know, when it comes to the PSA grades, 8, 9, 10, I mean, basically, you can almost take those as being as close to pack fresh as possible. You can easily pull a 7 out of a pack. I've seen it time and time again, but an 8 definitely could come straight from a pack. 9s are what you're always hoping for, and of course 10s, but 10s you have to have that flawless centering to go along with it for the most part. So we've got ourselves the TYRANITAR, and we've got 1 card left. We didn't get any 10s today, unless this comes back at 10, but let's see. We get a SCIZOR coming in at the Near Mint 8. Okay, so we've got some awesome cards that we've had here for you guys today. It's too bad we couldn't do a little better on our returns, but hey, that's what happens sometimes. You can't always get all 9s and 10s. This is definitely probably one of my worst returns in a while, though, I gotta say. I mean, we got some solid hits, but I feel like it could have definitely been better for us. I mean, just dang, those factory lines, I guess, or those surface scratchings, I guess. You never know what you're going to get, but that's how the game goes, and we'll see you guys all next time. Check us out. We got more vintage Pokemon card content coming your way, more submissions coming your way in the future, so we'll see you all next time. Adios, guys. Bye-bye.